One of the greatest of all time, and I believe that a lot of the family did let him in. R.I.P. to the great Bray Wyatt, also known as Fiend. Let's drop a like for the remembrance of this lad, and we're going to go ahead and cover what the man did in this story. Yowie wowie. Good morning and welcome back to the channel. We're going to go ahead and cover the story here because as you guys know, WWE did announce that Bray Wyatt fortunately has passed away. R.I.P. man. This guy, hands down, one of the best minds in WWE history. Was he given the chance? I mean, there was a point in his life where he was on top, but at the same time, WWE, they just, I don't know, man. I feel like they threw a lot away, at the same time. I feel like someone is also benefiting up there. Now, as you guys know, Brody Lee about a year ago, actually almost going on 2 years, the man had also passed, and he's actually one of his best friends. So I kind of just wanted to sit here and talk to you guys about the way that I feel, about kind of what he did, like, for my whole, like, rebirth and just coming back into, like, wrestling. Because there was a lot of time, I would say during this time, that everything was just kind of downhill. And I feel like Bray Wyatt was able to bring out the best and really anybody that he came across with. And I'm sure a lot of people will attest that for anybody that actually knew him in the past. Now, as you guys can see, I'm a huge fan of the lad. I don't care if you're talking about earlier days, later days, Bray Wyatt. The guy was so creative, and I feel like he had still so much more potential as well as the rest of his career fully ahead of it, man. And as you guys know too, like, we don't like waiting around. Usually when someone, especially someone that we like in particular, ends up coming out with a specific gear, different character, whatever the case may be, we love making customs of this. And that's basically what we've done on the channel throughout the years. I mean, even in the beginning with the Firefly Funhouse, this is kind of where it all started when his whole character was being revamped. This one was one of the customs that was actually put on the channel. And again, great, still hands down one of the best as far as like the way it sits on my figure display. They did end up releasing a basic version of this as well as an elite. So if you guys were wondering like, bro, where can I get this, man? Well, it's a good number. It's a good date. It was series 111. So right there, buddy boy, cheers to you, man. So really cool. I'm really very thankful to had this in the collection early enough because as you guys know, when we finally did get the elite, it was about a year and a half in. Another custom that we also enjoyed dabbing into and kind of giving them the ultimate conversion that we never really saw from Mattel. I mean, yes, they did release 2 different versions of the Fiend, but they never had them in the actual Bray Wyatt form. So this is kind of something that we had put together on the channel and fairly simple. I mean, for anybody that kind of wants to put this man right here on their display is one of the best right there in the UE lineup. I would say this is hands down one of the best versions. Formula for this too was fairly simple. You guys ended up utilizing one of the very first early Bray Wyatt figures. This one right here, of course, it is based off a different time. This is more current, and this is using the Ultimate Edition upper half with the basic scan that we got right there on the very first release. And if you do want to go further in, we can definitely talk about it because the Burnt Fiend was released also by Mattel. But again, not sure if Mattel either A, capitalized on it correctly, or they just weren't early enough to the game. Here's the Mattel version, and this one you could actually get from Elite Series 92. And then this one right here is just one that was put together on the channel. Now, as far as the scan, you guys, it's really up to you of how you saw the character transition through your television, but I feel like this one, it's still hands down one of the best ones when it comes to the overall likeness. Now, one gear that we actually never got, or actually one mask that was never actually put out by WWE, but it was actually in the works. This one right here, the guy that makes the masks for Bray Wyatt, actually ended up piecing this together, and this was actually the prototype formula that they were going to unveil to the community. BEW actually ended up putting it into play, and you guys can see, I feel like if he was to make like that third comeback in the Fiend form, this look right here, where you kind of have very similar to like the Joker expression, I feel like that would have really benefited with it all. The jacket piece, it wasn't a little additional add, and I feel like little accessories have always made this lad just a whole notch higher, man. I mean, as you guys know, he created the Firefly Funhouse, and I feel like Doink the Clown, a great superstar in WWE history that kind of brought the clown together, and that's kind of why I had to mix it. I love mixing around. I love doing fix-ups. You guys need to turn on that notification bell because this stuff right here, it's just basically what we do, man. We love Fiend. We love Bray Wyatt. Anytime that there was a early release. You know, we were definitely on there on the channel, unloading it to the WHF universe. These two right here, I would call these more if you guys are into Funko. Funko did get their own version of this. They had one that was also based off Christmas theme, but I don't know. I never really came around to the fact that this guy right here would have sat as an ornament. This one right here was based off the WWE Superstars. Was it the Superstars? Or I believe it was like the superhero superstar figure lineup, which it is based off the same formula. So scale proportion, you can see that they stand pretty small compared to it. One of the very first basics that we actually ended up seeing on several different occasions was also introduced here. They released it in the top picks, regular basic lineup, as well as I believe the SummerSlam. I'll have to double check on that, but basic that you could have gone. And the man was also a zombie. Believe it or not, Mattel had made a zombie based off Bray Wyatt. Actually, they had a whole bunch of different characters. They had Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Bray Wyatt was definitely categorized as one of my specific favorites, and I feel like as far as zombies, bro, like when it comes to Mattel, they really don't capture all the true goreness of it all, but I do think that the way that it was brought here with the actual figure in and of itself is definitely a blessing, man. I mean, the whole main idea here, what I wanted to tell you guys is that if you guys wanted to relive, if you guys wanted just to, you know, think of some of these great memories that the man had left behind us, I feel like this video right here would be very useful, man. After all, this is part of the reason why we do the figure collecting, man, to honor the ones that have paved the way, that have inspired us, that have motivated us. And I'm telling you, bro, this guy's middle name, it had to have been motivation, because he had spoke to so many people in so many great ways. And for anybody that's watching this, if it's family members or whatnot, I just want to say thank you guys. You guys are awesome. Always love having you here on the channel. Some of these elites back here too, if you guys are wondering. I don't have some of these loose. I do have them mock. This was that ringside exclusive one, which again, it is based off the one that we did just cover, except it's not a custom. This is the one that was made right here on the channel. This is one that you can actually pick up. Now, as far as the regular gear in Elite, you had multiple choices. You could have either done like the SummerSlam, the top picks, as well as the very first, was it? No, I believe this was the second SummerSlam Elite. All different accessories, but very similar in their own right. Give me your thoughts, you guys. Let me know how you guys feel about the tragic news. Let me know how he kind of reached out to you. I mean, I would love to hear your story. I feel like this guy reached out to the masses in one way or another, whether it was Yowie Wowie, whether it was letting him in, or like I said, whether he was motivating you to get back into doing what you love doing, man. I appreciate you guys for watching. Hit the subscribe button. Also, again, drop a like, you guys. I feel like the remembrance, it's got to be heard through the masses, and that's the best way to do it. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you, my friends, on the next one. Let them in, bro.